Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is DEKE CEO and President Anthony Vitale, broadcasting live from beautiful Jupiter, Florida. Today on our Instagram Live, we have a very special guest joining us today, Jacob Elmer of the New York Rangers. So let's dive into that all up next, guys. Enjoy. Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. How about you?
Doing well, down here in beautiful Jupiter, Florida. So taking in the sunshine.
That looks nice. Are you on a beach right now?
If you actually go behind those apartments back there, that's exactly where the beach is. So I'm just like a few hundred feet off of it.
That's nice. Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah,
We're cold out here, so I mean.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Calgary, Alberta right now. I'm just at my parents' house.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm up north, so it's good.
That's good. Yeah, how are you guys doing up there with quarantine and everything?
We're good. Everything's kind of starting to open up. I mean, golf courses kind of opened up. They're just kind of taking it in stages. Yeah, I'm going golfing tomorrow, which is going to be nice. So, yeah, I mean, it's just same old as everybody else. The quarantine's been pretty boring, but it's for the better cause, so that's good.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. I'm just glad that everything is going back to normalcy soon, especially down here. We were a little bit ahead of the curve, so, it's starting to show.
Yeah, you guys were jumping on it early. You guys are already on the beaches, so I'm jealous for sure.
Yeah, it was crazy. We weren't even trying to close at one point. It's just our government got so pressured, too, because everyone kept going to the beach. They're like, what is everybody in Florida doing?
I know. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather be on a beach than stuck in my house for sure, so.
100%.
For
So
sure.
that's good. So let's dive into it. So we do have a few questions that were asked from people in advance, and if anybody here in the stream would like to ask some questions, you can always do it by pressing the question mark button down there, and we can get to those a little bit later into our stream.
Cool.
So we just wanted to have you tell us a little bit about yourself to hear and everyone in the fans.
I don't know. There's not much to say here. I don't know. I just grew up in Calgary. I just played minor hockey throughout in Calgary. And then I went to a school called the Edge School for athletes here in Calgary, or just outside of Calgary. I played my Bantam and midget years there. Then I went up to junior after my second year midget. I was playing with the Regina Pats for a little bit, with the Grand Prairie Storm for a bit. Got traded to the Kootenay Ice, played there for like 50 games, and then went to Lethbridge and finished out my junior career in Lethbridge, and now we're here.
Nice. That's great. You've had so far you've had a very successful career in hockey, and you're just pretty much getting started. I'm pretty sure you got just about a year over me. I'm a February 2000 boy, and I heard you're a baby New Year. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm a December 31st, 98 guy. So, I mean, it's a little odd of a birthday for a hockey player, but I mean, I don't really look at it as anything. It's just my birthday. So, it's pretty cool.
Sure.
I mean, it's a party. Everyone's partying on my birthday. So, I mean, there's always a celebration, which is cool.
It's always really cool. And because you're 98, you're as young as a junior player couldn't have gotten too.
Yeah,
I mean, that mark.
Yeah, it's like 3 more hours. I would have been playing junior last year, or I think it's 3. It's 9. I can't remember if it's 9 in the morning or 9 at night, but it's
wow.
I'm pretty close to last year being my last year junior.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's always been the younger guy on the team, which is cool.
Yeah, that's actually, it's always cool. Whenever I've done something, I feel like I've always been some of the younger portion of it, especially when I was working for Disney. I was probably one of the youngest people to be working for a company like that when I started. So
yeah,
I definitely know how it feels.
I know, we're on the same page there for sure.
Yeah. So we wanted to know, how did you get into hockey growing up?
I mean, growing up in Canada, you're always playing hockey. My dad built a rink in the backyard when I was little. But I mean, when I was really, really little, after I started learning to walk, I was wearing, buckets on my hands and feet, pretending they were gloves and skates, and putting around the backyard or in the basement with the mini sticks. So it's kind of always just been in my blood. It's always been part of my body and my personality and just everything. So I mean, I started skating just before my 3rd birthday in the backyard rink, and ever since then I've just been playing it every day almost.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I mean, growing up in Canada, it's as big as it gets over there. So
yeah,
definitely no surprise there.
Yeah, I mean, we're always playing. I mean, every kid you looking down the street, they're always playing road hockey or whatnot. So it's in our blood for sure.
That's for sure. That's what I'm trying to do down here too. I really want to get hockey in the state of Florida in a bigger in a bigger community. So that would be that's definitely a life goal of mine, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's definitely a big goal for sure. You look at Arizona; they're starting to come up with more hockey players, and it's kind of growing, which is cool. So we'll see. I mean, quarantine's not really making it grow much, but I guess we'll see how it goes after this is all over.
100%, definitely.
Yeah.
We wanted to ask you too, if you had a favorite player or team growing up in particular.
I mean, I was never a diehard anyone specific fan for team wise. I've always been a huge fan of Crosby. Ever since he came to the league, I've been a huge Crosby fan. He's the GOAT in my opinion. So, yeah, he's pretty influential for me for sure. But I know the Flames, obviously growing up in Calgary, I love the Calgary Flames. Big fan of the Penguins, obviously, because Crosby there. I just really enjoyed watching really good hockey when I was younger. It was kind of just me for love of the game more than love of the players, the teams.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, growing up in New York, I was always a big Rangers fan, especially with my dad. He was a
Yeah.
diehard Rangers fan, so I had to follow suit with him. But both of our favorite players, just for me growing up at least, but currently for him, we were always huge Alexander Ovechkin fans. So
Yeah.
always cheering on him, and even with the Rangers and the Capitals having somewhat of a division rival, we always rooted for them whenever the time was right or whenever we weren't really versing them.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, yeah, every time you got your favorite player playing against your hometown team, it's always a battle of who pulls on your heart a little bit more. I definitely remember going to a Calgary Flames versus Penguins game, and Crosby scored some nice goal. I think he scored one of his nicest goals. It was like a backhand shorthanded, or a short side. It was pretty sweet. And I just remember jumping up in the crowd, and all the Flames fans were like almost booing me when I was a little kid. So it was pretty funny.
For my 18th birthday, before I came down here, we went to a Rangers Capitals game. He surprised me, so it was my first time seeing Ovechkin play in person. So
Yeah.
we're so torn apart. We're like, so if he scores, do we celebrate? Because we're Rangers.
You're
We're like, what are we
conflicted for
gonna
sure,
do?
eh? Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it was a great game though. So we definitely enjoyed that. So yeah, no, it's good to see that Sidney Crosby is as great as a role model as it gets. Everything he's done in his career, he's represented it well. So it's great to see that you looked up to a player like Crosby. Absolute world class player, and definitely a great role model, especially in the younger hockey communities.
Yeah, it was definitely a big influence in my career for sure. I mean, his personality and his leadership role is definitely something I try to mimic, and yeah.
That's good. So we actually did want to ask as well, at what age did you know you wanted to take hockey serious as a career?
I don't know. As a young player, probably Adam and Pee Wee kind of area. I kind of realized I was one of the top players in my team or in the city. One of the top few. There's a lot of great players coming out of Calgary. So I mean, around a young age, I knew I wanted to be passionate and pursue my hockey career for sure. Once I got drafted in the Western Hockey League, I think that kind of changed my whole perspective and how I wanted to, pursue it for sure. Is it raining over there? Are you getting dumped on by water or what?
Yeah, I was literally about to say that's the beauty of Florida. It'll be sunny in 1 second, then it'll start raining. I had to look over there, and I go, oh crap, it's a big cloud.
Yeah.
Might have to move it into the indoors for a second.
Totally.
Yeah, that's Florida for you. When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, no kidding. Eh? That's funny.
I got a nice sunroof in here though, so
you're good.
That'll work out good for us.
Perfect.
So at least we're undercover here.
Perfect.
Oh man. Yeah, so that's Florida for you, everybody.
That's funny.
So I did not expect that. I was checking the forecast today. It's like, oh, it's gorgeous out. Might as well do it out here. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
exactly.
the hell? I feel it's start raining.
That's funny.
Oh,
yeah. So I mean, growing up, I love the game of hockey, and I have a pretty good talent at it, and it's I definitely wanted to pursue it for sure, and so I'm glad I got to be where I am, and there's a lot more to come.
that's great. Yeah, definitely living the dream in that aspect for sure. So it's good to see that you've always kind of had the passion for it.
Yeah.
A lot of people a lot of people know as soon as they put skates on that they're ready to they want to jump into the leagues, and then you have a rare occasion where you find someone in their teens. So it's good to see that you've always had the passion for it.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely been a big passion of mine. Always been a big hockey fan for sure.
So going into early in your career, you were picked 116th overall in the WHL draft, and you went from that to being ranked 15th in scoring in the entire league. How
Yeah.
much would you say that the maturity in you took that to effect, and what did you do to improve in your skill sets from that to go from something like that to being regarded as one of the best players in the league?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you see a lot of guys have their breakout years as their 20, 19-year-old years. So, I mean, guys mature at different ages. I've always been a late bloomer. I mean, I always came into my abilities when I was a bit older. So, I mean, being a 20-year-old and having the confidence and the mindset of, I'm older, I'm a bit stronger than other guys. I can kind of dominate. And, luckily I had great coaches and great teammates for sure, and an organization to back me and let me kind of and be my kind of player and work hard and do my kind of thing. And I was able to be successful as well as the team. We had Dylan Cousins, phenomenal player, Kalen Addison, Taylor Ross, Jordy Bellery. If you go down the list, I mean, there's guys up and down that roster that you can say could have pro opportunities or NHL opportunities. So I was able to play with some great players, and it ended up being that I could have a successful year last year for sure.
Yeah, and Dylan was your line mate. He's doing really well for himself as well right now too.
Yeah, I mean, that kid's got a special talent. That kid's a phenomenal hockey player. There's only great things to come for that kid. So I'm glad I got to play with him for a year and a bit. And I couldn't say enough good things about that guy.
We were going to jump to a question relating to that later, but I might as well spill it to you now. We were going to ask, who would you say was the most talented teammate you have ever played for so far in your young career?
Ever played? I mean, there's lots of guys. Vinny Lettieri's a very, very skilled player. A preseason game doesn't really count as a player I've played with, but Artemi Panarin, obviously, he's pretty phenomenal. Those guys. Dylan Cousins is a phenomenal player. Taylor Ross, who played in Norfolk this year, he's a great hockey player, underrated for sure. Jordy Bellery, Kalen Addison, all those guys kind of with the Hurricanes that year. Almost all those guys, they're all NHL bound, it could be. So you don't know what the future has for them, but they're all skilled players. I couldn't really narrow it down.
Yeah, that's true. You definitely played with a lot of skilled players, especially within the. And jumping to that, with your last two seasons with the Hurricanes, you absolutely lit it up. 57 goals, 61 assists for 118 points. And that got you a 3-year entry deal contract with the New York Rangers. So we wanted to ask, how was it like signing with the Rangers, knowing you were about to represent one of the most storied franchises in sports and, an original 6 team in the NHL?
Yeah, that was definitely a special moment for myself and my family and the people that were around me when that happened. My billet parents in Lethbridge, they were the ones that helped me out the most probably that day with printing stuff off and getting me signing things. And it ended up just being a great day. I had a feeling I was going to sign a contract. I'd been talking to a couple teams, so I was just kind of put the nail down and really work hard off the ice and on the ice and kind of show that I'm ready to take the next step. And I ended up getting the opportunity to sign a contract with the Rangers and an original 6 team. I mean, it couldn't be any better. What a city to play in, what a city to be a part of. So I was super excited to be a part of that and just experience the city and experience such an awesome organization. And it was a special day. My family was excited. My billets were excited. My teammates were excited. So it was a great day for sure.
That's incredible. I love stories like that for sure. And a little bit on the bias, I love, growing up a Rangers fan, I always love talking to players within the organization, and it's like an extra special connection to me because it's the team I always root for. So that's great, though. I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I'll tell you that. It was a cool day, getting a text from my agent, and I was just playing video games with some of the guys, and I got a text, and so it all changed from there, and it was an awesome day.
That's just what great stories are made of. You gotta love stuff like that.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's really cool. So actually diving into your personal style of play, we've noticed that you're definitely not one to shy away from the physicality of the game and whatnot. And we wanted to have your intake on what do you think of like the dying breed of like hockey players that are like not necessarily enforcers, but someone who's not really afraid to drop the gloves. That's kind of like a dying breed in the NHL today.
Yeah, you know the leagues are taking a step towards the faster skill, more exciting kind of hockey. But I'm kind of, you know, I'm an Alberta kid, kind of known for being gritty on the ice, and you know I've always grown up watching the Rock'em Sock'ems with Don Cherry and watching the old school hockey fights. So I love it. I think it's awesome. I'm not necessarily the best fighter or the toughest guy in the world, but I'm not afraid to get my nose dirty sometimes. Yeah, I've got beat up sometimes. I won some fights here and there, but I love it. I think it's a huge part of the hockey game. I think it's a huge part of a team. Um, but obviously the league wants to change that, and they want to get more to a skill style of game. But I enjoy it. I think it's sad to see that kind of breed go away, but I also understand that that's where hockey is going. But in the same aspect, I think it belongs in hockey. Absolutely.
Certainly, you know, I think it's definitely a big part of the game. It's certainly overlooked because the NHL has kind of evolved from more of a speed type of thing to to speed from size and that sort of sense. And you certainly appreciate those players in that dying breed, like just like also in the New York Rangers organization, Brendan Lemieux. He's not afraid to drop the gloves for nothing.
Yeah, I really admire his play style. Another guy that comes to mind, you know, Brady Tkachuk, and you know,
great,
like
great,
they're
and Matt too,
and Matt, yeah, Matt and Brady.
Matt's not afraid.
You know, those guys are, yeah, those guys will, you know, it's I can't even describe how the way they play. It's such a cool style of play. You know, they get the job done when it's physicality wise, but they also put the puck in the back of the net. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch for sure. You know, you see the guys who are fighters and they bring such an influential role to a team, but with the changing of the style of play, I mean, it gives opportunities to younger or smaller guys who necessarily back in the day wouldn't have that opportunity, and you know, more skill in the game. It's a lot more exciting to see, you know, better dangles and nicer goals, and it's always nice to see a fight, I think so.
Yeah, that is true, and you know, I certainly appreciate it every time I see that, you know, within the league.
Yeah.
So let's just hope that if it does go away, it goes away in a very slow fashion, or let's just hope it kind of picks up again, and we'll see a lot more of that.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
This is an interesting question that's going on with the times. If you can pick 3 teammates within that organization that you would have to do a 2-week quarantine with in the same house, who would it be? So that could be anybody within the Rangers, the Wolfpack, or the Mariners in that case. Or if you had to pick 3 guys.
Oh my goodness, that's tough. I spent the summer with Adam Huska, Joey Keane, and Patrick Newell last summer.
Nice.
So I think I'd throw Patrick Newell in there. I'd spend time with him. He's a funny guy. Oh my goodness, I think it'd be Henrik Lundqvist for sure. He seems like a really cool guy. He can play the guitar, so he can hopefully pick up that one for sure. I don't know, who else? I don't know. It's maybe Sean Day. I really like that guy. He's super fun to hang out with. He's a super good guy. I kind of pick guys that I'm close to and you know, guys I look up to, which is cool. So yeah, I think those will be my 3 for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, I asked that same question to Ty, and I told him that I would have to pick people who spoke Russian because I wanted to learn how to speak it. So I would need 2 people who are fluent in it and 1 person who can speak English and Russian, so I can at least speak English to somebody.
So you'd get Kreider, hey? You'd get Chris Kreider.
I heard Chris Kreider is fluent in Russian. I'm not too sure how 100% sure it is, but I heard that I heard Sam Rosen mention it once on a broadcast, so it must be true coming from him.
Yeah, I think he speaks a little bit of Russian, so he's pretty smart.
That's awesome. I would certainly need someone like that in that sort of sense.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's true. So let's see. We do have those are our fan submitted questions from us so far. I can ask you a few personal ones as we go, but let me see what ones that we did get from the fans so far during the stream. So let's see what we got. All right. This is an interesting one. What is your ideal line match, like 1 player and like 1 current player? So if you were to put yourself, you're a right winger. So let's say if you wanted to make like your own like ultimate line in that case, like which center and which left winger would you take?
Oh my goodness. Uh, well, obviously, I'll go with Crosby as a centerman. Obviously, I
Good.
mean, how could you not? A left winger. I think
Yeah,
Ovi's a
really.
left winger, isn't he? So, um, I don't
Who
know.
is?
Ovechkin, isn't he a left winger? Shoots right,
Oh,
left winger.
Obi. Yeah, Obi's the left winger.
Yeah, I'll throw those guys. I'll throw Crosby and Ovechkin for sure.
I consider myself a right winger a lot, and I'm a left shot actually. So I always
Yeah,
liked winding up at the right circle. So in that sort of sense, I would probably have to go with. Obviously, I love Ovi. I'd put him on the left over there, so you get double the one timer, and then
yeah.
down the middle, I'd actually probably take Steven Stamkos because he can
Oh yeah,
easily do that too. I love Stammer.
yeah. I mean, Stammer's a good option. I mean, McDavid. I mean, if you just go to the net, he's gonna find you. He'll probably
Oh,
score. So, or give him the puck. He'll probably get an assist. So I mean, it could be up in the air for Crosby or McDavid, but
yeah.
that's pretty good.
I mean, look at McDavid and Draisaitl. They can easily put up like 200 plus points, and it's
Yeah.
freaking
Well, you
disgusting
put
combined.
him on in overtime, and it's a guaranteed goal almost all the time.
Oh,
So those guys, it's pretty
it's
insane.
crazy to see how
Yeah, it's
they're
pretty
doing up there
nuts.
in Edmonton. Let's
Yeah,
see if we
it's
do
pretty
have
nuts.
any other questions that we were submitted. Huh. This is an interesting one. So how would you describe your time with the Maine Mariners?
It was good. I mean, it was obviously you want to be in the highest league that you can be. I mean, the East Coast is a great league. It's a development league for sure. I had the lucky opportunity to play with some great players. So it was good. I mean, I got to learn the way of playing pro, the pro mentality, and taking care of my body the right way, and just what it takes to be a professional. Yeah, look at Zach Tolkien. He's a captain. He's played professional hockey for a long time, and he knows what it takes. And I learned a lot from those guys. And Tom McCollum, I learned a lot from that guy. It was great. It was a great opportunity. I got to see a part of the world that I'd never seen before. I got to live on the ocean, which I'd never lived on the ocean before. So I got to eat a lot of great food and see a lot of cool things and play some great hockey. So I mean, it was a good experience overall for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a great league for sure. Personal question for me: have you ever played against the Orlando Solar Bears yet? Because I know they are also in the league.
Yeah, I don't think we did. We didn't. So
Ah, okay. Yeah, they play about 20 minutes away from where my estate is over in Orlando. So
oh,
they're
right.
so they're pretty
Do you ever
cool
get
over
to
there. I
go
didn't
to
know.
any games at all, or
Oh, sorry.
do you get to go to any games, the Solar Bear games at all, or not
I
really?
lived down here since January, so I actually haven't
Oh, okay.
just yet. But I plan once everything kind of goes back to normalcy. I definitely plan on it
Yeah,
for sure. Like I wanted to go see the Rangers when they played Tampa
yeah,
at the end of March, but then that obviously happened.
yeah. Quarantine happened, so
Yeah, so that was unfortunate, but no, yeah, I try to follow them as much as I can. So as soon as this all finishes and season start rolling up again, I'll definitely try to see over there. And yeah, if you and Ty are with the Mariners, you already know I'll be there 100%.
yeah. I mean, hopefully me and Ty aren't. Hopefully we're up with
Hopefully,
Hartford all
in this
year.
case,
But
hopefully you guys are on the Rangers. I'll be there in Tampa and
yeah,
Sunrise.
yeah, that'd be. I mean, I wouldn't hate to
you
play
and
for the Rangers. So
you and
that's
Ty on the
hopefully.
Rangers, I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. Hopefully.
Trust me, you guys are hard workers. You guys will definitely be there.
Yeah, just got to put the nose to the grindstone. And we'll see. We'll see what happens in the spring or in the fall. Sorry, not
Yeah,
in the
no,
spring. We're done
well,
in
it
the spring.
depends on how the season goes.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they. I mean, our league is just officially got canceled, so
I heard.
we'll wait and see what happens and when we'll be back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this summer.
That's true. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, especially, and a lot of stuff going on in the NHL right now, and discussions of if they pick up the playoffs, are they going to do a 16, 20, or 24 team playoff at like three team? Best of three series. That will honestly probably make for the best playoffs in NHL history, if you ask me.
Yeah,
It'll
it'll
be
be
so
really
exciting.
intense. It'll be super intense. It's a high stakes. I mean, that'll be really interesting. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I don't really know what's going to go on. So I guess I'm kind of in the dark, the same as everyone else. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, and if they just prolong the summer and make the season go as planned next year, then we'll just get back to work in the fall.
That's true, and it require coming. you obviously knowing this firsthand, a lot of players, with the training and everything, if the season were to resume, you would obviously need at least a few weeks of training camps to get back into the gist of it after, 2 months of nothing.
Yeah, I think it's been 9 weeks since I've played a hockey game or something like that. I think it's up there. It's been quite a while. So I mean, if every player, if they jump right back into the games, it'd kind of be a gone code, kind of look like a summer skate out there. So yeah, you need probably 2 weeks to get back into it, and I think you'll be ready to rock after 2 weeks. But anything less than that, I don't think it's wise for sure.
Yeah, no, we just got to see how that kind of goes in that sort of sense. And once you get that official date, then it becomes a lot more of a clearer picture.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens and what their plan is for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see how that kind of rolls out. Jonathan Quick also mentioned that he thinks the goalies would need, like, I don't know what the time frame was, but I think he said almost like 3 to 4 weeks. He could have honestly even said like a month or two to even get back into the gist of it. Do you think that's necessarily true in that sort of sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's personal preference. I mean, some guys take longer to get back into it. So yeah, I don't really have a say in that. I mean, yeah, every guy's different. So if Jonathan Quick needs a month, then he needs a month. If Henrik Lundqvist needs a week, he needs a week. So yeah, it's all based on personal preference, which guys can get back into the groove of things quicker, and I think that'll give teams advantages. Also, if guys are coming back quicker and stronger than other teams would be, then I think they've had an advantage for sure if guys are getting ready sooner.
On the goalies topic, is there a goaltender that you found a lot easier to score on than others? Or, well, not to call out anyone or anything, but is there a goaltender that's you just like have it in the back of your head that's either like the hardest or like the easiest you've ever scored on?
Yeah, I mean, every goalie is great. I mean, it's tough to score on every goalie. You never really I've never really had anyone's number. So I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, Henrik Lundqvist he's a legend. It's tough to score. I think it's intimidation alone. If you're coming down on him, it's tough to score. I mean, a childhood buddy of mine, Kyle Dumba, Matt Dumba's brother, me and him played on the same team for years, and I think I kind of had his number every once in a while, but he also had my number a bit. So, I mean, I can't really put a name down for sure.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Henrik has been doing it for such a long time, and
yeah,
no, that's certainly something. The intimidation factor within it.
Yeah.
It's
pretty much. I mean, from skating on the ice with that, it's pretty cool. You see guys you watch on TV for a long time, and you get to play with them. It's such a cool feeling.
And he's based a lot of his his game on mental focus and composure. So it's hard to throw that guy off.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, some guys can get under his skin a little bit on veteran guys kind of poke the bear kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't really say much, but it's fun to see guys chirping each other who've played together for a long time. It's pretty cool to be a part of.
Yeah, back in the days when it was like Ovechkin versus Brodeur, when the Rangers and Devils games would really like get into it. It would. But did I say Lundqvist versus Brodeur? I'm sorry. I don't know why.
You said Ovechkin. You said Ovechkin versus Brodeur and the Rangers.
I knew something didn't sound right. My bad.
Well, I know
what you're saying. I think I know who wins that every time. But
yeah, I know what you were saying.
Lundqvist versus Brodeur in that sort of sense, when the Rangers and the Devils would go at it with each other. Those were incredible games.
Yeah, you can go down the list. There's a lot of players and goalies that it's a great competition for sure. I think the best one is Sean Avery and Brodeur. I mean, those guys had a rivalry like I've never seen before.
Avery was something else to watch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that guy's really awesome. I think that guy's a cool dude.
Oh, he's a legend, and he's embraced the New York Rangers name like much more than just playing for them throughout his career. Like he's kind of like grown into that lifestyle. Like I know he does live in New York City, and I guess he does love the New York lifestyle, but yeah, he's not afraid to shy down to anybody. He gave it to Brodeur, like literally in his face.
Yeah, even strangers out in the public. I mean, I love watching that guy's Instagram stories. I think they're hilarious. I mean, it's cool. The guy's living up to his name. He was a pest in the NHL, and he's he's a pest in real life, but I think he loves it, and I appreciate that for I'm a big fan of Sean Avery, honestly. I think he's awesome.
Oh, he's great. I mean, it certainly isn't for everybody, but you gotta love
Yeah.
him from him.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like him, but I enjoy him. I think he's awesome, dude.
Yeah, no, I missed watching him play. He was great.
My phone keeps
Yeah, so another fan question that we had, this is from one of the bigger Ranger pages in the community. He wanted to know, how would you describe your shooting style? If there's a way to break down into that.
I don't know. I like to shoot off stride. I'm more of a snapshot guy. I like to pull it in and use a stick. I use a whippier stick than most guys. So I don't know. I think it's just kind of a quick release. I work on it almost every day in the backyard. So or I'm trying to at least. So yeah, I don't know. I think I just try to shoot where the goalie's not.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my kind of go-to.
No, I can agree. I kind of liked having like a whippier stick because I did. I wasn't necessarily too comfortable with my slap shot. I was more of a guy that would just like to wrist it. So you know, I shooting left-handed, I would like to pull back on my right hand a lot. Like that's where I generated a lot of torque and power. So that's what I used to do a lot.
Yeah, I used a whippier stick. So I mean, I like to lean into my shot. It's kind of I don't know. I can take a good slap shot too. I think I kind of found the perfect point for me where I can shoot well and have a good stick.
Yeah, no, everybody's different, and flex, curve, all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Every guy. It's funny to see guys how they have different, patterns and what they like, and I mean, in Lethbridge, I used just a standard team stick. It was pretty cool that I was just able to use that one. I didn't need any custom modifications or anything, but now I got a little bit more picky. I use the fatter blade. Or the taller blade, sorry. But just the same curve, same flex, and kind of just been rocking with that for a while.
Yeah, Cliff Ronning has base hockey, and they basically fit you into a hockey stick like a golf club.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when base came out, they actually came to my school when I was in Bantam, and we were doing shooting, and a couple of guys got them. I ended up not getting it. I did the whole shooting thing, the high-speed cameras and stuff, and it was really cool. But we ended up just I stuck with Bauer at the time, so I mean I was being successful with that, so I wanted to stick with that.
That's good. Yeah, you gotta love Bauer. They got some great sticks.
Yeah, I grew up using Bauers, and then once I switched to junior, in the CHL and the CJHL in Canada is all CCM, so I've been using CCM since I was about 15.
I currently shot a CCM. I think I had like Nugent Hopkins like base stick that you would just get from like a Modell's or something like that. I didn't drop too much money on him. I just dropped whatever was comfortable using.
Yeah, no, it's hockey is comfortability. I mean, I've had the same shin pads and elbow pads since I was 15. So, yeah, I don't like to change things up, but I know a lot of guys like to have new feelings, but I like just comfortability for sure.
For sure. So we have a Bruins page in the community. He actually wanted to ask you your thoughts on David Pasternak as a player.
That guy's a phenom. I mean, that guy can score from anywhere, I think. I love watching that guy play. I love when the announcers say his name with that Boston accent. I think it sounds super cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Rangers prospect, but I spent a lot of time in Boston on my off days this year. Just going for restaurants and having bites to eat. It was only like an hour and 45 minutes from Maine or Portland, so I spent a lot of time there with my girlfriend, and yeah, it was. I love that city, and it was cool. I wish I would have gone maybe to a Boston Bruins game versus the Rangers, which would have been neat, but I didn't get a chance to, unfortunately. But I mean, Pasternak's that guy's unbelievable. I can't say enough good things about that guy. I mean, that guy's so talented, and he just wants to win so hard. It's unbelievable.
Idolizing a player like Alexander Ovechkin growing up and just seeing like what he's doing, it's kind of like almost looking at like, holy crap, this kid might be like the next if it's all said and done at the rate he scores at.
Yeah, the guy, I mean, like I said, he can put the puck in from anywhere on the ice, and when you play with great players, it's easier to score. That guy, I mean, the Bruins up front are so good. So I mean, that guy, I love watching him play. I think he's an awesome player to watch. And if you're growing up and you want to pick a player to watch and idolize yourself, I think that's a good pick for sure.
100%, especially in the younger hockey community today. Watch David Pasternak.
Yeah, absolutely.
For coming in from Rangers DEKE, Rangers pace that represents us here, he wanted to know, what would you describe your play style as if you were able to kind of break that down?
I think I'm a playmaker. I'm a power forward. I'm trying to transition my game into a power forward and fill a role that I think can be that is open for me. Being harder to play against, it's definitely a goal in mind to work harder in the corners and in the battling sense of the game. But I think I'm just a speed player, and I can make opportunities happen. I can be a good penalty kill guy when they need me. But I think more of a power forward and playmaker for sure combined.
That's great. Yeah, you are. You are 6'1" from when I checked the measurements, so you definitely have the height, and just like watching you play, I think you could definitely transition into a power forward.
Yeah, it's just gotta, the training's gotta be there. I gotta work hard off the ice and get that strength where I need it, and I think I can win a lot of battles and come out with pucks where I can and be able to put them in the net.
Yeah, that's true. And being playmaker, having that playmaker mindset and going into stuff like that, I think that's probably one of the best ways you can be successful in hockey, especially having like I've noticed whenever I played, having a non-selfish mindset, or is wherever you want to play it, or trying to like look for the play more than anything, it was always where I was most successful. As much as I would love to rocket the puck as much as I could, I think setting up people was always a lot more fun.
What makes the great players great is where they can decide whether to be selfish or selfless. You look at McDavid, he'll go end to end and go through everybody, and he's the opportunity to bury one, but he's got a guy back door, and he hits that guy, I think what makes great players great is how they can decide. When they can make the decisions and the right decisions to be selfish or selfless, and whether it's putting a puck in behind their defense or carrying it, or that's where a lot of players struggle sometimes, and young guys coming up from junior or whatnot, or coming into junior, there's a lot of, or even pro, there's guys that are trying to figure out when to make those decisions, and I think the elite players make the right decision all the time, and it's definitely a learning curve for younger guys and less experienced guys.
I remember growing up too and watching the Rangers, especially in my mid-teens. They were talking about when Matt Zuccarello was here with the Rangers, great player, amazing playmaker. They were saying like how great he probably could have been because he was so unselfish with the puck that he would pass sometimes where he can just shoot it wherever he wanted. Honestly,
so
if he probably shot just a little bit more, he probably could have been like a point per game type player.
Yeah, I mean he's doing all right, and I think it's Dallas now. I mean he's doing okay.
Oh, Minnesota.
Minnesota, it is Minnesota. That's right.
Yeah, he's with Minnesota now.
Yeah, that's right. I mean he's doing all right. He's playing in the NHL. He's making a good living, and he's doing well. So I mean he's not laughing. So it's good.
That's true. Yeah, he's doing great for himself, and he always has been.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another question came in. If you were to compare yourself to any player in the NHL today, who do you think that would sort of be, or who would you say you see yourself as being?
I mean, there's a lot of guys that I try to idolize. I've always struggled with that question, trying to, who I would compare myself with. I just try to idolize myself over players. A guy I've been wanting to watch a lot with Hartford is Stephen Fogarty. He's played a lot of games up in New York, and that guy he's an all-around player. He's a good leader. I want to mimic that style of play. But I mean, there's guys, like the Zibanejad and the Panarins you want to mimic as much as you can. So I try to take pieces from a lot of high-end players and try to put it into my game. So I don't think I could compare myself to anyone. I mean, I wish I could go Connor McDavid, but I can't, unfortunately.
Yeah, that would be something. But yeah, no, that's great though. Try to even learn a thing or two from some players' biggest skills, their strengths is always great, and kind of try to fold it into your own. But it is a hard question. It's like how do you compare someone that isn't me or whatnot? Or, like I'm my own person.
I've always struggled with that question, but I mean, I've always just said I try to pick apart the best players and what they do best and try to put it into my game.
Yeah, that would that's always a tough question, but you answered that one well. That was that's definitely a good answer though for that.
Appreciate it.
Let's see. Who would you say you were closest to within the Rangers organization?
I spent a lot of time with Patrick Newell. Ty Ronning is up there. Yeah, there's a lot of guys. I mean, you're part of a team. I think those guys for sure, Patrick Newell and Nicholas Jones in Hartford, Sean Day. I mean, I try to be as close with every guy I can be because it's a team at the end of the day. So I think those three guys for sure.
Who would you say is the biggest jokester on that what was I gonna say? I was gonna say but when you were playing in Maine this upcoming season, well, this season that just passed, who would you say is the funniest teammate, or someone who just can crack just like the funniest takes, I guess?
Yeah, I roomed with this guy a lot on the road. Is Josh Couturier. That guy's hilarious. He's always pulling pranks on guys. I mean, Ty's hilarious too. That guy's always cracking a smile and making guys laugh. Sean Day. I mean, I say the same three names kind of all over again, but I mean, every guy like Dylan Fox is hilarious. I mean, there's a lot of guys that I can go down that are just really funny guys.
That's great. So we're at about the 4:41 mark. You got time for one more question?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. So this is another one that I always got to ask everybody that comes on here, because my 9 to 5 is working in Disney. So I have to ask if you're a big roller coasters fan, and which one would you say is your favorite that you've been on?
I've never really been a big roller coaster ride guy. I mean, I've been to Disney a couple times, but I think my most fun one when I remember when I was little was California. It's California Scream or whatever.
California Screaming, yeah, that's over in Disneyland in California. That's a great roller coaster too.
Yeah, I think that one would be my favorite one I've ever ridden. I don't know. I don't really remember many of the roller coasters I've been on, or the names even. I'm just not good at that stuff. But yeah, I think that one's for sure my favorite.
That's a great ride. I actually have not been over to Disneyland in California. I've only been down here in Florida in the East Coast. But no, I'm a fanatic, so I do know a lot of stuff about that. And that is a great coaster. And my personal favorite is really similar. It's kind of like their version of it. It's called a Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith, and it's kind of the same premise. It has like that launch. It has a few loops, but this one's entirely indoors, and it's blasting Aerosmith music in your ears. So that's a good one if you ever come down here to give a try.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to put that on the list then if I ever visit Disney down there. That'd be awesome.
For sure, and let's cross our fingers that everything just down here reopens soon.
Yeah, I hope everything reopens soon, and I think we're all in this together, and we're kind of sticking it to coronavirus, and I think we're gonna do all right. And yeah, I hope it opens up soon. It'd be nice to get back to life as usual.
100%. We as a community got to show that we can't let this win, and so far we're looking up. So
yeah,
in a matter of time, we will defeat this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's been boring, but I think we'll get through it pretty soon.
100%, and we'll definitely appreciate a lot more things in our daily life now that once we go back to normalcy. So you can only look to the positives of it. So once we do go back, it'll be great.
Yeah, it'll be good. I just want to get back on the ice. That's what I'm looking forward to.
100%. Well, I got to thank you again for joining us today, man. We really appreciate it, and we definitely enjoyed having you here today.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me on. Hopefully do it again. That'd be awesome.
Would love to, definitely. You're always welcome, my man.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much again. And thank you guys for joining us here today with me and Jake. And we definitely plan on seeing you guys again sometime. So thanks again, man. Appreciate it. Stay safe.
Thanks to you as well.